Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Fall 2025 Town Hall meeting and our installation ceremony for Student Council executives. I hope you're doing fantabulous, excited for Fall 2025, and looking forward to meeting our executives on today's Town Hall meeting. If you have not yet spread the word for this session, just go in your Telegram groups, your WhatsApp groups, wherever you are, spread the word that your new student council executive is being installed this evening, and you want to give them as much support as possible to ensure that you have a fantastic year ahead. On today's meeting, we will be having our executives from the President's Office, Professor Colin Giles. We'll be having our Deputy President, Professor Bernadette Warner, our Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Sheila Paul. We'll be having our Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Academic Administration, Dr. Yvonne Dawkins, many deans, faculty, staff members on call, and most importantly, our students. Welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your patience in starting a little bit beyond our scheduled time as we start our event, starting with our installation ceremony first. We'll invite Dr. Von Dawkins to bless us this evening. Dr. Dawkins?
Okay, I am so sorry, but I was not managing to unmute myself. Good evening, everyone. Please join us in a short word of prayer. Lord, we thank you. We thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for the privilege to be at the start of a new academic year. We pray that as we prepare for this academic year, we will be aware of how special it is that we are blessed with the opportunity to be involved in higher education. Lord, we know that there are many persons who would want this privilege today and who are unable to access this opportunity. And so we thank you that this is an opportunity that is available to us. We invite your presence with us in this evening's meeting. Help us to learn the things that we need to learn, to pay attention, to ask our questions. We pray that this will be a useful time, that this will be a fruitful time. And we commit this time to you because we know that you are interested in our progress and you're interested in our growth. And so, with thanks, we pray for your guidance throughout our proceedings this evening. These things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Dawkins, Associate Vice President for Student Affairs, for doing our invocation. And ladies and gentlemen, we invite Professor Bernadette Warner, Deputy President, to bring us greetings for fall 2025.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dow. And like Dr. Dawkins, a lot of problems trying to unmute and open the camera. But good evening, everyone. I am so very grateful for the opportunity to meet and greet our students tonight and to extend my warmest welcome to each of you. I want to acknowledge Professor Colin Giles, our president, who is on his way, Dr. Sheila Paul, our Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Yvonne Dawkins, the Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Academic Administration, Mr. O'Neill Dow, our Student Success Supervisor and arranger for all of these events. The many deans who have joined us, heads of department, faculty. I want to especially greet the Student Council executives who will be installed tonight. Mr. Shomi Stewart, the incoming president, Mr. Christopher Gollimore, Ms. Kadia Jackson, Mr. Paul Brown, Ms. Chin, and Ms. Williamson. I hope I have not left out anyone, but we are so very happy to welcome you tonight, and indeed a special welcome to all the students who have joined us. As Mr. Dow says, please invite all of your other colleagues to join us on the platform. So I'm very, very happy once again for this opportunity to greet the student body and to join you in the installation of the Student Council executives. I'm also very glad for the chance to welcome you to Fall 2025 and to wish for you a very successful semester. There is a recipe, for having a very successful semester. And we are very well structured at UCC with a very, very strong focus upon ensuring excellent teaching and learning with all the required support services that you need. So if you feel at sea at any point in time, please reach out to your faculty, your dean, program coordinators, Department of Student Services. There is always some help waiting for you to address any challenges that you might have. We also have a range of policies and procedures that help to guide all of our operations and ensure that you're always set on the right path. So the journey is not always easy, but I want to assure you of our full support. The entire institution, I emphasize, is designed to deliver various programs and to ensure that you have all the support that you need. Our many registration and accreditation accolades have also provided us the framework for quality, for excellence, and for continuous improvement. We are bound by our registration and accreditation to follow established standards for university governance and management, for teaching and learning and research, faculty, university operations, integrity. We also at UCC share a philosophy of expanding higher education in the interest of both individual and national, as well as regional and international development at affordable tuition costs with multiple entries point throughout the year. And I'm saying this to say that it's a philosophy of which we are very, very proud. Most institutions of higher education would require you to have at least 5 CSEC before they even consider your application. We believe that even if you fall short of the matriculation requirements, UCC is equipped to help you to manage to complete matriculation with the various programs that we offer. So we encourage you to be engaged, to enjoy your experience. It's very, very important that you enjoy this learning process. If you don't, you will be missing a tremendous opportunity to build networks, to engage in the reading, to engage in the research, and to develop even better ideas than you have right now, to share these ideas in the workplace with your family and friends, and to have discussions that really lead to a transformed society. So that's the kind of graduate we're looking for. For this semester, I want you to also share in some of the significant achievements we are planning for fall 2025. and to encourage your engagement in most of these. So on September 23rd to the 25th, we'll be having the Academic Research Conference. And I want every student present here to be present on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of September, listening to the presentations, making presentations of your own. All of September 23rd will be devoted to the students. Demonstrate and illustrate your own research. Ask questions. Be mindful of the work that's being presented. Usually at the conference, you're hearing research for the first time. So you want to be part of that process of learning. On October 1, we have another milestone at the institution that we'll be celebrating, and that will be the start of UCC doctoral programs. So traditionally, we've been offering the associate degrees, bachelor degrees, and master degree programs. From October 1, we will be offering on our own, not in partnership with any other institution, the UCC doctoral programs, the doctorate in business administration, and the doctorate in professional practice. So you are really a part of an institution that is always making strides and seeking to grow the university in ways that you will be absolutely proud. We also have another significant event in October. It's the institutional reaccreditation verification visit by the University Council of Jamaica. And this will take place on October 27th to the 31st. And all students ought to be represented during this event. So there will be a special meeting hosted by the University Council of Jamaica with representatives of the Student Council and representatives of students from across all the programs that we deliver. So we look forward to your participation, to you having such a good experience at UCC that you'll be able to share that experience with other persons who talk to you about this on October 27th to the 31st. Yeah. And this will be happening at all the campuses, not just the Kingston campus. So I encourage you to be engaged in the learning process, work with your peers, collaborate with your instructors. Very importantly, meet with your advisors. There is a library on the second floor. Please visit. Make full use of all the learning resources provided you and do all of your assessments and exams well. I want you also to pay attention to the multiple ways in which information will come at you. The university website, the student handbook, messages from Mr. Dow and the Department of Student Services, your program coordinators, and so on. But you need to be aware via the student handbook of all of the policies and regulations which govern student management at UCC, because this will help you to understand and to prepare for an exciting and enriching educational journey. So in closing, I want to wish you and yours all of our Father's choicest blessings and all the very best to you, and many congratulations to the incoming Student Council executives. All the best, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Warner, for sharing updates and greetings. I'm sure students are excited. Terrence swearing in the chat says, the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, my institution rocks, and I'm
Yes, it
excited, right?
does.
So I love that, love that, love that. Keep the chats coming in, ladies and gentlemen. And while we're celebrating and looking forward to our future, we recognize the growth that we've had for the academic year 2024-2025, and we invite our past Student Council executive, Miss Jadian Ellis, to share the 2024-2025 year in review. Miss Ellis, over to you.
Confirming they hear in the video.
No, not as yet. So when you're sharing, oh, I'm hearing it now. Great, great, great.
Pleasant afternoon. A trip down memory lane. UCC Student Council. Our newsletter for 2024 to 2025. A message from our outgoing Student Council President. It's been an honor serving you through thick and thin, from the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl to the controversy over the Latin Awards. This experience has created many great milestones, and we'd like to take you on a trip down memory lane to share some of these highlights. We hope you'll enjoy this look back at our time together.
Now let's talk about the Student Council hierarchy. Let us meet the team behind the work. The Student Council for the academic year 2024 to 2025 was led by our president, Dean Anderson, and included a dedicated group of representatives. These include Danica Allen Harris, Daniel Cuthbert, Kedisha Tucker, Jadian Ellis, Vincent Bailey, Francine Peart, Nathan McCarthy, Shaomi Stewart, Tiamoe Moss, Sonia Gay Harvey, Kelia Phillips, Anishka Grizzle Hodges, and Chanel Elphick.
Our tenure was built on the strong foundation of our predecessors. We continued their strict verification system for the Student Union Group, which was established in August 2023. We also considered the practice of a class links sheet to help students easily find their class groups. We extended a more relaxed verification to other UCC groups and utilized Telegram bots to help our admins. The Student Union channel, also established in August 2023, continued to be our primary tool for announcements and broadcasts. A key feature of this channel is that only admins can send broadcasts, allowing subscribers to have a sense of privacy. Finally, each broadcast includes a footer so you can know which admin was sending or making the announcement.
Now let's have a little conversation about the Montego Bay campus exclusives. There were several highlights this year, and some of our favorites are listed here. On November 24, 2024, the Rep Your School event brought students together for a nostalgic evening of fun. The dress code was their high school uniform or school colors, and the event featured music, games, pizzas, cakes, and it also held a student awards ceremony and soiree on December 5th, 2024, inviting students to volunteer and to showcase their talents. Furthermore, they had another event called the Adopt a Family Initiative. The holiday season brought the spirit of giving with this initiative. In partnership with the Alumni Association, students and the campus donated food, non-perishables, and toiletry items to families in need by December 15th, 2024. And of course, who could forget an unforgettable game night? The Montego Bay campus also hosted this game night on June 14th, 2025 from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. It was chaired by the Student Council rep for that campus, or for that region, Anishka Grizzle Hodges, and the event was a chance for students to relax and connect through board games, bingo, ludi, dominoes, and darts.
Another initiative of the Montego Bay campus was inviting students to become certified peer mentors at a workshop held from June 29 to July 1st, 2025. This initiative was an opportunity for students to build leadership and communication skills while helping their peers succeed. On September 12, 2024, the Student Council Executive Board for 2024-2025 was officially inaugurated. The meeting took place virtually and on campus and included the participation of the executive board during a town hall meeting.
And of course, there were several events that happened throughout the academic year, one of the major ones being the 8th Annual Research Conference, which took place on September 25th and 26th, 2024. This event, themed Navigating New Horizons, Innovation in Tourism for Sustainable Development, featured keynote speaker, the Honorable Dr. Edmund Bartlett, the Minister of Tourism. The conference brought together students, policymakers, scholars, and industry experts to discuss the future of tourism. Both student council representatives, Caleb Phillips and Xiaomi students, were in the audience for this event. Let us also talk about the Work and Travel Expo, which was an event held on October 25th, 2024. It was an exciting workshop designed to help students find work and travel opportunities that would allow them to experience new cultures and build their careers. It was chaired by the Department of Student Support and our student council rep, Vincent Bailey, and the expo was attended by several student council members, including Nathan McCarthy, Daniel Cuthbert, Caleb Phillips, and Lillian Ellis. Students had the chance to explore various agency booths, giving them a glimpse into opportunities available for travel and adventure. Here are a few more highlights of said Work and Travel Expo. Now let's talk about the Pink Run. On October 27th, 2024, UCC participated in the ICWI 5.09K Pink Run, a yearly charitable event that raises funds for breast cancer survivors. Students and staff from the Worthington campus, including one of our student council reps, Xiaomi Stewart, were a part of this corporate initiative to support a great cause. Furthermore, in-house, the Student Council also hosted our own breast cancer awareness event entitled Project Pink, held on October 31st, 2024. This event was chaired by Student Council reps Daniel Cuthbert, Kalia Phillips, and Xiaomi Stewart. Now, of course, Youth Day. November is celebrated as Youth Month, and on November 28, 2024, UCC held its own Youth Day to recognize the contributions of young people. The event included a panel discussion on youth leadership in the digital age, with guest speakers like social media influencer Roshane Dottiberry and student council reps Kalia Phillips and Francine Prier were present to take part in the day's activities. On November 23, 2024, the Student Council was invited by the Department of Student Support Services to attend a workshop at the New Kingston Fellowship SDA Church. Notable figures such as UCC co-founder Mrs. Geraldine Adams were in attendance. Student Council reps such as Xiaomi Stewart, Nathan McCarthy, Vincent Bailey, and Kira Phillips also attended the service.
The UCC Annual Student Awards ceremony on December 5th, 2024, recognized students at all campuses for their academic achievements and exceptional leadership. Not only were all student council executives rewarded with certificates, but so were club executives. Among the student council members receiving awards were Nathan McCarthy, Nika Allen Harris, Kalia Phillips, Francine Pierce, Anishka Grizzle Hodge, Dean Anderson, and Jaden Ellis.
Student Council also partnered with UCC Alumni Association on December 21, 2024 to participate in a Christmas tree entitled The Season of Smiles. They provided Christmas donations and treats to patients at the Hope Institute Hospital in Kingston 7. Present were Student Council reps Francine Peart and Sonia Gay Harvey. Now let's talk about the Earthquakes Awareness Day and the Seismic Unit trip to youth. Now, One of our vice presidents, specifically for academic affairs, Daniel Cuthbert, chaired a two-day event to promote earthquake preparedness on behalf of the Student Council. On January 24th, 2025, professionals were invited to share their knowledge on the topic. A week later, on January 30, Daniel invited students to attend a seismic unit trip at the University of the West Indies. On Sunday, February 16, 2025, UCC staff and students once again showed up in force to represent at the Sigma Run, a popular fitness event that raises money for health, children, and educational causes in Jamaica. Student Council execs Francine Peart and Daniel Cuthbert were there to participate on behalf of the council.
The Student Council took the initiative to assist graduating students who were struggling to find makeup artists for their graduation photos. President Dean Anderson created an application to temporarily recruit qualified UCC students and referrals to fill this need at each campus. In February 2025, the Accreditation Service of International Schools, Colleges and Universities visited UCC to assess the university for an accreditation renewal. As part of the process, they interviewed students both in person and virtually. Our Student Council representative for IT and Math, Kalia Phillips, attended in person, while other Student Council reps such as Dean Anderson, Nika Allen Harris, Daniel Cuthbert, and Jaden Ellis joined virtually via Zoom. Following a successful process, UCC earned its fourth consecutive Premier Institutional Accreditation status, effective from January 5th, 2025 to January 4th, 2029.
And now, of course, let's talk about the College of Occupational and Applied Studies, COAS. They facilitated their own workshop to orient new and prospective students. On February 27, 2025, Student Council reps Francine Peart and Kayla Phillips were also in attendance, showing their support for the college. The NCB UCC Rickert Allen Memorial Lecture, themed From Data to Dollars, the Role of AI in Revolutionizing Investment Strategies, featured Denario Brown, which is the Vice President of Strategy and Innovation at NCB Capital Markets Limited. Attendees, including Student Council Representative Kayla Phillips, explored how artificial intelligence is reshaping the financial sector and unlocking new opportunities both for financial institutions and for investors themselves. Furthermore, on Friday, May 2nd, 2025, Student Council hosted its financial literacy seminar with the theme Creating a Foundation for Generational Wealth. The event, chaired by Student Council POR Vincent Bailey, featured dynamic presentations on key financial topics such as investing, insurance, credit, budgeting, and home ownership. Distinguished speakers included former Student Council Presidents Kean Morgan and current Student Council Rep Nathan McCarthy. The seminar provided valuable tools and resources through interactive engagement booths, giveaways, and a Q&A session.
A few Student Council executives made a mark on Read Across Jamaica Day by improving literacy in young Jamaicans. Tiamoy Moss and Francine Peart both read to students in schools within the Kingston region, where Nika Allen Harris read to students located in Ocho Rios. As a lead-up to Sports Day, the Student Council held a virtual games night to award pre-Sports Day points to each host. The event, chaired by Student Council Jaden Ellis, supported by Dean Anderson, included games like Code Names and Battle of the Houses, which provided more of a school challenge quiz feel. Aaron host won with a score of 21 points, while phone credits were given to the most active players from each host. The final standings were Aaron with 21 points, Adams with 19, Jeff, blue host, with 13 points, and Thelwell with 12 points. The UCC Sports Day 2025 was a high-energy event at Merle Grove High School in Kingston. It featured a Zimbabwe warm-up, a hype DJ, and an MC bringing together students and staff from across all campuses. The day's events included track and field, as well as fun events such as netball, football, volleyball, basketball, and tug-of-war. The Student Council was fully involved in Sports Day, with reps and members of the administration distributing medals to the athletes. Photos from the day captured Student Council members like Jaden Ellis and Dean Anderson posing with students and fellow IT student Brian Morgan. Other reps, including Shaomi Stewart, Caleb Phillips, Nika Allen Harris, and Daniel Cuthbert, also celebrated the day together. On Sports Day, the fun began with an opening ceremony, including a welcome address and TV introductions. The event kicked off with a Zimbabwe-style warm-up and a cheer squad performance. Throughout the day, students and staff competed in a variety of track and field events, including the 1500 meter, 400 meter, 800 meter, 200 meter, 100 meter dashes, as well as a mixture of 4x100 meter relay. The afternoon was filled with field and fun events such as netball, football, volleyball, basketball, and tug-of-war. Medals were distributed to the hardworking athletes by members of the Student Council and administration. The excitement was palpable as students were recognized for their dedication and performance. Ultimately, the competition was fierce, but in the end, Heron House, the House of Eagles, emerged as the overall winner with a total of 379 points. House of the Bears, Jeff Blue House, took second place with 333 points, followed by Adams, House of the Stallions, in third place with 320 points. Finally, Thelwell did a good run in fourth place with 256 points. House of the Tigers. UCC commencement on July 20, 2025 awarded degrees to over 800 graduates. Among them were two outgoing Student Council reps, namely Jaden Ellis, Student Council Onboarding, Engagement and Recognition Officer, as well as Dean Anderson, the outgoing Student Council President, both of whom were conferred with a Bachelor of Science degree in Information Technology. Also present were outgoing Student Council IT and Math Rep Kayla Phillips and incoming Student Council President Shaomi Stewart, who both served as ushers on the day. Outgoing Rep Jaden Ellis, also known as Jay, concluded her tenure with a free math tutoring session to help students prepare for their summer 2025 end of semester exams. The session focused on courses such as Calculus 1, College Algebra, and General Mathematics, which was held via the Google Meet platform on Wednesday, August 6, 2025. Outgoing Rep Dean Anderson provided technical assistance during the session. In addition to our featured events, the Student Council achieved several other significant milestones. We successfully negotiated with the university to adjust the tuition plan, changing option B to a 30% down payment followed by a 70% payment, whereas it was previously 40%, 60%. We also created a dedicated channel for students to review lecturers and develop a Google Sheet to track grade publication progression.
Response to student feedback, we voiced requests for health insurance, a new graduation certificate design, and a graduation date change to the fall. The health insurance has since been implemented. Additionally, we successfully appealed to the administration to exempt all 2025 graduates from paying graduation fees.
The Student Council also developed a free mentorship program where students could be mentored by their peers. This initiative, led by Vice President Nika Allen Harris, incoming President Shaomi Stewart, and outgoing Student Council Rep Jaden Ellis, was created to support students with academic challenges in subject areas like core math, general math, college algebra, calculus 1, and other course areas. The council is committed to supporting student rights, offering daily motivation, and assisting with student concerns.
ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Student Council of the academic year 2024 to 2025, we would like to thank you for working with us, and we'd like to express gratitude to a few very important members of UCC staff who assisted and partnered with us during our tenure. These include Mr. O'Neill Doe, all regional campus managers, deans, and head of departments, Professor Colin Giles and Professor Bernadette Warner, Dr. Yvonne Dawkins, Dr. Sheila Paul, Mr. Gary McKenzie, Ms. Kimberly Buckley, and Ms. LaShawn. Thank you all for your past contributions and your support of the Student Council body. We wish the very best for the incoming Student Council, and we hope that they can do even bigger and even better for the student body. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations, Student Council representatives, 2024, 2025. I can see the excitement everywhere. We love it, we love it, we love it. We'll pause to acknowledge our UCC president, Professor Colin Giles, to bring greetings, and we'll transition to the installation ceremony thereafter. Professor Giles, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Doe. Good evening, everyone. It is indeed my pleasure to be joining you for the installation ceremony of the new Students' Council for 2025-2026. I would like to specially recognize those who are joining us this evening, members of the administration, Professor Bernadette Warner, our deans, Associate Vice President Dr. Yvonne Dawkins, Associate Vice President Dr. Sheila Paul, other members of the Department of Student Support, Mr. O'Neill Doe, and other members of the team, lecturers, other faculty members, members of administrative staff, of course, the Students' Union executive members, both outgoing and incoming, as well as students in general. I want to thank you all for being here this evening, and I want to especially commend the outgoing Students' Union team for the sterling work that you have done. Of course, as indicated in the report that was just presented, there were many activities, and many of you who are here on the platform would have participated in those activities. And these are opportunities that are available that allow for participation. We know that many of you are working students. Some of you do not get the time to participate in all the activities because you would have to require time off from work in some cases. But of course, the opportunities are there, and we encourage you to avail yourselves of the opportunities so that you can build camaraderie among your peers and also get to know your lecturers and staff members, members of the team better. Of course, the university provides opportunities for student representation. Mr. Dean Anderson would have our outgoing president, student union president, student council president would have attended meetings of the board, and of course would have consistently represented the issues that affect the student body, and of course would have liaised very closely with Dr. Sheila Paul and Dr. Yvonne Dawkins, and of course other members of the Department of Student Support. And we are here to continue to support you in your academic journey by providing not only the academic support, but also the co-curricular activities that help to strengthen your student life experience. Of course, sports has been a significant addition to the repertoire of activities that we provide. We would have engaged a coach, Mr.
David Tello.
Mr. David Tullo, yes. Mr. David Tullo would have been very active in not only coordinating the sport activities, but would have been actively involved in coaching a number of the teams. And because of the guidance and involvement in the wider intercollegiate space, UCC would have provided opportunities for our students to participate in a number of these activities and would have done very well in competing against other tertiary institutions. So I just want to recognize what Mr. David Tullo has been doing also, and other members of the team who help to coach the students. So as the outgoing students council team make way for the incoming one, I want to congratulate those who have been elected or who would have volunteered to serve in the incoming student council. We know that your time is valuable, but student leadership provides a good platform for leadership in the wider space, the wider society, both within industry and within the wider society, where some persons have gone on to political representation and other forms of representation, having transitioned from student leadership. But it provides good opportunities for you to make your mark, not only in the wider society, but also in the development of your own careers. So once again, I want to congratulate those who have been elected and encourage you to give of your best, seek help where you need help, because when all is said and done, you also have to be successful in your academic studies. And we do not want your involvement in student representation to impair that. So we have advisors who are available to support you to ensure that your tenure is a fruitful one. And we look to the Students' Council as a bridge to ensure that we are able to interact with the student body and be sensitive to the needs of the students and to provide accordingly. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, students, all, faculty, staff, and all, I thank you all for being here with us this evening. And I look forward to the incoming Students' Council having a wonderful experience with the support of all the members of the team. Once again, I thank you and wish you well and wish that you'll have a wonderful experience for the rest of the evening and throughout your tenure. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Colin Giles, UCC President. So, for the moment we've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, is the installation of our student council representatives. Now, Professor Giles and Professor Warner will be assisting me with the installation ceremony. So, do we have our executives on? Starting with President to be Shaomi Stewart in a couple of minutes.
I am most definitely here.
All right, Tanessa Williamson.
Here as well.
Awesome. Kadia Jackson.
Here, I'm here.
Paul Brown. DJ Chin.
Here.
Christopher Gallimore. Okay, I guess both Christopher and Paul are having challenges, but we'll proceed nonetheless, right? So, good leaders are made, not born. If you have the desire and willpower, you can become an effective leader. Good leaders develop through a never-ending process of self-study, education, training, and experience. With this in mind, it is my pleasure to install the newly elected Student Council Executive of the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean for the 2025-26 academic year. I will start with the department representatives and the executive secretary and treasury. Professor Bernadette Warner will assist me with the installation of the acting vice president and regional and international student representative, and Professor Giles will assist me with the president, right? So starting with our department representatives, Tanessa Williamson for the Graduate Studies School, as well as DJ Chen for the Undergraduate Studies School, to include School of Business, Entrepreneurship and Management, School of Science, Math and Technology, and College of Occupational and Applied Studies. It is your responsibility to coordinate and strengthen student representation and lead a team of representatives within their schools or colleges on strategic academic program requirements, opportunities, and issues. You shall consult with students and represent these views through meetings and committees and ensure that all changes and improvements that happen as a result of feedback be communicated to students. Do you pledge to fulfill the duties and responsibilities of the Office of Departmental Representative and serve to the best of your ability the members of your student council? If so, answer I do. And Tanessa Williamson, Graduate Studies, you may respond.
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Deidre Chen, Undergraduate Studies, you may respond.
I do.
Thank you, ladies. Nothing from Paul, so I will move to the Executive Secretary and Treasurer, Mr. Christopher Gallimore. It is your responsibility to chronicle the business of the Council through complete, accurate, and timely minutes of all meetings. It is also your duty to keep all Council records and carry on the correspondence of the Council. As Treasurer, it is your responsibility to coordinate fundraising activities for the Council, ensure the proper accounting practices and procedures of the Council are in accordance to its standard best practices, and present an up-to-date report on the finances of the Council to the student executives. Do you pledge to fulfill the duties and responsibilities of the Executive Secretary and Treasurer and serve to the best of your ability the members of your Council? If so, answer I do. Uh, Paul, you could unmute your microphone and speak. Sorry, Christopher, you could unmute your microphone and speak.
Christopher shared that he was having some microphone issues in our chat. I do apologize.
All right, so you could type in the messages then, accepting or, yeah, responding. All right, thank you, Christopher. Let me see if I could help with. You have two users on. Okay, so unmute now then.
Good evening. I do.
All right, excellent. Professor Warner,
Yes.
you could go ahead.
All right, thank you so much. Acting Vice President and Regional and International Student Representative, Cascadia Jackson. It is your responsibility to preside at all meetings of the Council in the absence of the President. As Vice President, it is also your duty to oversee all committee activities, act as the General Assistant to the President, and chair the Executive Committee. Do you pledge to fulfill the duties and responsibilities of the Vice President and to serve to the best of your ability the members of your council? If so, answer I do.
I do.
Thank you so much.
Professor Giles, you could go ahead.
Thank you very much. President, it is now my distinct honor and privilege to install the person whom you have elected to lead the Student Council as president, Mr. Show Stewart. As president, your duties and responsibilities are vast and varied. As the Chief Executive Officer of the UCC Student Council, it will be your overall duty to maintain the organization's health during this academic year. The president will preside at all meetings, appoint committees, and shall represent the council at official organization gatherings. Do you pledge to fulfill the duties and responsibilities of the president and to serve to the best of your ability the students of the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean? If so, answer, I do.
I do.
Thank you, and congratulations, Mr. Stewart.
And the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean now turn the reins of leadership over to the Student Council President, Mr. Shayomi Stewart. And for the benefit of everyone seeing the representatives, could you turn on your cameras so that we could get it all? Yes, and say hello and thank you and all the very best there. Right, right, right. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Mr. President, over to you for your remarks.
All right, so thank you, Mr. Doe. So first, I would like to say good day to Professor Giles, Dr. Paul, Dr. Warner, Dr. Dawkins, to all members of staff, and I would say most importantly, to all the students who are here. I give a special welcome to our new and incoming students. I say welcome to the UCC family. It is truly a privilege to be elected as your student council president. And first, I just want to express my deepest gratitude for your trust, your votes, and your faith in me. It means the world to me, and I feel an immense sense of pride and a clear understanding of the responsibilities that comes with this role. To lead you with integrity, dedication, and a commitment to service. I am not new to the student council. I was a part of last year's student council, so I am familiar with some of the processes. I didn't serve in the capacity of president. We all know that Sir Dean Anderson was the president, but I was the department rep for our biggest faculty, the Department of Business Management. So I am equipped to steer the student body, the student council, in the right direction. I must also thank, as I mentioned, our former student council president, the former student council members, led by Dean Anderson. He and his team did an excellent job, and not because I was a part of the team, but simply because we worked together and we had a good leader. We um, looked at the different issues that were there and tried to find remedies to work with faculty to fulfill the different things that were outstanding. He and his team has left a good foundation which we intend to build upon. While our team is much smaller, moving from 14 members to just six, I have no doubt that we have what it takes and that we are equipped to represent and advocate for each and every student, for the students' right, and just to have an engaging atmosphere and a campus experience. We are here to ensure that your voices are not just heard, but valid. And our goal is to handle every matter raised with the seriousness it deserves. Because the most important thing is that your voice as a student is heard and is and matters. We believe, and I, as a student council president, strongly believe that a collaborative approach is most effective to see tangible results. So we will be working closely with faculty, my UCC's president, Professor Giles, and the other members of staff to ensure that we communicate your challenges and difficulties and other matters that may arise in a respectful manner so that we can have these results. Because when we work together, as the famous quote says, teamwork makes the dream work. We have already identified several key areas where we can hit the ground running to pick up where the former council left off, while also introducing new initiatives and improving upon existing ones to create a positive impact on all students. To make sure our focus is on the issues that are current, we will be looking at the student survey that was recently completed by you, our students, to see the different issues and challenges that you are facing so that we can create and fine tune solutions that are specific to what you are facing now. So we will work along with the Department of Student Affairs to understand the complaints and see how best we can remedy them. We also encourage you to take and involve position or take part in the different activities that we have planned for you throughout this year. Trust me, we have Paul Brown, who is excited, our student life rep, who is excited to keep the different activities, but we crave your support so that we can have a vibrant online campus. Also, we will have online activities for the students who are online, and we will not forget our out of town branches. We will try our best to ensure that all activities and celebration reaches to these different locations. Our mission, if you ask me, is to foster academic excellence and a fun, engaging student life. Together, we are stronger. Together, we can achieve more. Together, we can. Thank you for choosing me and my team, and let us make this academic year the best we can ever have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart, President of the UCC Student Council. Um, Currently, one of your team members have joined, so I sincerely apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the improper transition here, but given that he was elected, he must be installed. So, Paul, are you audible?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So let's make this here. All right, so student life representative and public relations, Mr. Paul Brown. It is your responsibility to promote a vibrant UCC student life through sportsmanship. As you've heard, Professor Giles, we're big on sports now and healthy competition. We have our recent sports day, recreational fun for the campus and UCC community. You shall also strive to provide leadership and coordinate and support activities to assist with the development of a stronger, more active environment on campus. It is your responsibility to foster active student participation, build awareness, and the relevance of the Student Council to all stakeholders, both internally and externally, to the campus and UCC community. It is also your responsibility to track important information and promote development through an effective Student Council publication. Do you pledge to fulfill the responsibilities and duties of the Office of Student Life and Public Relations and serve to the best of your ability the members of your council? If so, answer I do.
I do.
Excellent, 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 ladies and gentlemen. We have officially installed the 2025-2026 Student Council Executives. Kudos to you, everybody, and the team will communicate to you all in your Telegram groups and so on. We'd want to share information on how to join the groups later on this evening, so expect that information pretty soon, where you can become a part of a community that is really here to support you. The great Dr. Dawkins.
Thank you, Mr. Dow. I was able to unmute this time around.
Nice, nice, nice. So you could share a few words and then we'll start when you're ready.
Thank you. Welcome to Fall 2025. I know you're all as excited as we are to have you, and you're ready to go. So I want to just encourage you to do some housekeeping in the days that we have until the semester starts. Now, you will know that the semester starts on the 7th of September. So we have a little bit of time. We have a little bit over a week to tidy up those registration issues. So if you are not fully registered, if there are any gaps at all, please come on campus and get that sorted. Also know that our teams will be here on Sunday for those of you who would like to come on Sunday. So the admissions team, the SFS, DSS, program coordinators, online, we will all be here to help you to get your registration sorted and so that you're ready to go for the 7th of September. I need to start off with some really good news, and I encourage you to applaud when you hear this news. Grade release is at 92%. Clap now. Unmute your mic and clap. Come on, I don't want no virtual clap.
Okay.
We
Uh, Hold on, let
we are
me
super excited.
Thank you.
go ahead, unmute Dr. D, and everybody can unmute now.
Congratulations to us.
Unmute Dr. Dawkins.
Congratulations to you guys.
We are doing
Yes,
it.
unmute and clap.
Yay!
92%,
Congratulations.
guys. And we're not at the deadline yet. So nobody should have any challenge with getting their grades on time. And this is going to be something that we will stop complaining about because we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. So I'm very happy to share that good news with you. All the teams are working hard to make sure that your grades are released in a timely manner. We also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the feedback that you've given us in the student surveys. So Mr. Dow is going to show us some of the data in 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 charts, and these are the responses that you have given us to the student survey. The response rate is still too low, and I really want to encourage you to do those surveys when you're invited to do so, because it really gives us a chance to know what is working for you and what it is that is a concern that you'd like us to address. And so don't take it for granted. You know, when these surveys are passed around, we've been trying to do them physically now, not just online. Really see it as your opportunity to weigh in and tell us what is working. So almost 40% of you have rated the student satisfaction at a 4. But when we add the rating of a 5, we're seeing that almost 55% are happy with their student experience. And so they would consider their student experience very good or excellent. And we still are concerned about those persons who are rating 1 and 2, because we want to know what it is that we can do to improve your student experience. When we look at the various units that serve you, the majority of persons are satisfied or very satisfied with admissions, examinations, records, and SMS. So that green and purple sections, satisfied or very satisfied. 22.6% of persons who responded indicated that they've seen a noticeable improvement. And that's what we want to see, because we always are looking for ways to improve our practices, to be more efficient, and to serve you better. In relation to the Department of Student Services, again, 14.3% are very satisfied and 46.7% are satisfied. The majority of persons are satisfied with the work of student services. We want you to feel that DSS is where you go to be supported. The whole purpose of DSS is to support you. So really do feel that this is your place to raise your concerns, and also to make your commendations. And we're happy to know that so many people are satisfied with the work of DSS. When it comes to academic affairs, and we're talking about program coordinators, HODs, deans, campus managers, again, over 50% are either satisfied or very satisfied. That looks like most 62%, 63% are satisfied or very satisfied. Almost 20% have noticed improvement in our academic affairs or program coordinators, HODs, deans, and campus managers. The dissatisfied category is that category in the red. It's about 13% dissatisfied and very dissatisfied, 4.8%. And again, let us know what it is that is causing this dissatisfaction. UCC Online has a high level of satisfaction. The green suggests satisfied, the purple, very satisfied, and the orange, 19.5% experiencing noticeable improvement. So this is some of the feedback that has come from you and the feedback that we are using to improve our services. Student financial services. When we look at those who are very satisfied, 18%, satisfied, 46.1%, and those who are identifying noticeable improvement, 15.3%. So some of the general comments that persons made are some of the comments that I'm going to respond to shortly. The services that have been identified as those requiring improvement, you will notice that some of those services are registration, financial statements, and graduation clearance as the ones needing improvement. So you guys have indicated that you have some concerns, and I'm going to ask members of the team from academic affairs to registry to help me to just respond to some of the concerns that you've raised. You've raised concerns about our communication and our responsiveness, and it is quite reasonable that you would we want our communication to be both timely and thorough. And so it is very important that we are constantly working to improve that, to improve the customer service. The customer service supervisor is not able to join us this afternoon, but she did send me a note about the commitment to training and to enhancing the level of customer service at UCC. We, for example, know that we have a problem with our phone lines. And that is something that we're being very intentional about looking at, because we know that it is often very difficult to get through to someone when you're calling through the phones. There was also a concern raised about tuition fees, and that is always a pain point for students. This year, we raised tuition by 3%, and we are also very committed going forward to ensure that you are given adequate notice to prepare for a tuition increase and to keep those tuition increases when we have to do them at a nominal level. In relation to course availability and scheduling, as well as academic quality and support, I want to invite Dr. Paul or any other member of the academic team to make a comment for us.
Good evening.
Hi, Dr. Paul.
And welcome all. And congratulations to the new team. I look forward to working with you. And remember, Academic Council is where you can help us to help you. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all in attendance there. With regard to, and I'm going to let the deans respond to the course availability and scheduling part of it, but academic quality and support is very near and dear to my heart as an academician. I come with an education background, so I know how important that is. As a matter of fact, just this week, we had professional development for our faculty. And in that, we were talking about ways to improve course delivery, teaching, creating lesson plans when you are teaching a subject area, and providing feedback, and not just feedback that is distant or late, feedback that is ongoing during instruction, after instruction, and before exams. So we are working on addressing those issues that you've raised, and I started working with Dean on some of those issues from last time. So we are improving, and we are working on making sure that our faculty are meeting the teaching and learning requirements to make sure that you have the best learning experiences and just, giving you the best outcomes that you can have. We also introduced, and I worked with Mr. Dow last year on creating some kind of tutoring support by using our students, who are very, especially with the quantitative subjects, the mathematics and the accounting, because I noticed some high fail rates in some of those courses. And we addressed that by asking to have some peer tutors during tutorial sessions, having the faculty and the deans conducting tutorial sessions for you guys. So we are trying to put the resources in place. We are looking at also persons who have, are on academic probation, for instance. We looked at all of that during this last week here. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we had 3 full days of professional development. And we invited students to attend those sessions, but of course, Kalia was there. So she will give you some feedback on what those experiences were like. So we were getting some student perspective as to what things we can do and how we can improve those practices. We believe in best practices. We believe in producing our students who are going to be leaders and innovators and have the best outcomes possible. So I hope, that we are addressing the needs, and I'm sure this semester, this year is going to be a better year for you where academic quality and support is concerned. Deans, would you like to add anything on that? Who's on? Mrs. Davidson?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I think Dr. Paul said most of it on behalf of us, but we are committed, School of Business, and I know the other deans who are on, we are committed to improving the experience for students year on, year on. We learn from the feedback you give to us through the various surveys. We may not shout about it, but we do in the background look at what the students say and see how best we can improve their experience in classes, the teaching, the learning, the types of assessments, and ensure that we are satisfying our students as well as satisfying the requirements for our accredited degree programs. I know there was a question about the scheduling of classes, and it all boils down to efficiency, guys. And that's why the curriculum mapping is so important. We really use that curriculum map to guide us in where students should be at a certain point, the courses that they should be requiring. We use our eligibility listing based on your progression to determine the likelihood of a viable class size, because we can't just run classes if they're not viable. So part of the efficiency is to make sure that the classes are viable. We're looking at what student needs at a particular point in time, and we schedule along that way. It is a fact that when we get to especially years 3 and 4, where students are specializing and the numbers fall because as the specializations come up, the numbers are going to fall from where we would have seen in year 1 and 2, when so many of you are doing microecon, so many of you are doing ethics. By the time you get to years 3 and 4 and you're specializing in a particular course, the number of students for that course will not be as it was in years 1 and 2. And so we have to be very efficient about how we schedule those classes, especially the specialized courses, to make sure that we do have a viable class size and not end up putting up a class, we don't have enough persons, we cancel the class, and it becomes inconvenient now for you to replan your life, for us to replan the life. So the way to deal with this is to stay very close to your program coordinator, because your program coordinator is aware of the cycle in which we are scheduling the classes, and will be better able to guide you, especially when it comes to your specialized courses. If it comes up in the timetable, your program coordinator will say, do this now, or it's going to come back next semester, so you can wait. It's very important that you check in with your program coordinator and don't just go up and pick things that you see that you think, oh, I like this one, and pick it. No, there's method to the madness in the timetabling. And as I said, efficiency is very important in how we go about doing it. So I hope you appreciate that we can't put up all the courses every semester. It's just not possible. But we try to do it in such a way that you can progress through your degree program and you can graduate in a reasonable time, or the time allotted for you to leave us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Davidson. And I think you've answered that question very succinctly. But the reasoning why courses are canceled and, how we do the scheduling. If there aren't any other questions on that, Dr. Dawkins, you may continue.
Thank you.
We
Thank you
open for
both.
questions. We open for questions from the
We'll
students.
come back. We'll come
Oh,
back
you
to
come
the
back to that? Okay.
questions. Yes,
Fine,
yes,
problem.
yes. Thank you both. I'm going to ask Mrs. Wandisling to speak to administrative processes and access, but before she does, just a quick comment about a matter that was a hot button matter last year, and it's the matter of the Latin Awards. Yes, indeed, we are looking at the Latin Awards and we are updating, as happens from time to time in any institution, updating to ensure that our awards are acknowledging exceptional students, and that the way the Latin Awards is structured is consistent with the way Latin Awards are structured across the tertiary education sector. But we do have a process, and that process is the process that we're undergoing. So we're looking at the awards, we are benchmarking, we are making the adjustments, and then it will go through an approval process. And then we will be sure to advise students in good time so that that information will come very early so that you're fully prepared. What happened last year that caused some anxiety is that I believe that information came out before the process was complete, and it caused some anxiety for you. So I'm just addressing it upfront that when the process has been complete, the information will be shared. The Student Council will, of course, be part of the early conversations, and then the wider student body. And we're working to make sure that this is done in a timely manner. I'm going to ask Mrs. Wandisling to speak to some of the concerns that you raised about administrative processes. Mrs. Wandisling is our acting registrar.
One moment, Dr. Dawkins. I wanted Dr. Paul to talk a little bit about the hybrid classes and the success that we've had while we piloted the one face-to-face class summer.
Okay.
It wasn't on the list, right, Mr. Dow? Okay. Hybrid classes mean that when a class is slated as hybrid, means that you are coming to school on campuses sometimes, and then you're online sometimes during your course, during a particular course. And this was introduced, and I don't know if you guys remember, but we had introduced this about 2 years ago when we noticed that there were high fail rates in certain mathematical courses and accounting courses. And the idea was to give you more hands-on, face-to-face experience so that you can pass these courses with better outcomes. So that was done, but I think students opposed it because the online is convenient for folks, and that's fine. And we are flexible that way. And I think that's why you chose UCC, because we are flexible in having online opportunities. But one of the things that you need to know as students is that across the country, across countries in higher education, even if a program is fully online, there has to be some face-to-face engagement, even at the doctoral level. If you're doing a doctoral program online, and you learn this as you go on, you have to come. Sometimes they have a 1-week intensive where you have to be on the campus, or a weekend intensive, but you need to have some kind of connection. So one of the things we tried last semester to increase student engagement, because you know, and you all know this, that sometimes you are in an online class, but you are not engaged. You are not paying attention, and you miss important learning. And then, with important learning missed, it's hard to catch up, it's hard to make up, it's hard to pass exams. So I'm just appealing to you to kind of think about where we want you to be. We want you to be successful. We don't want you to be retaking courses and failing courses 4 and 5 times. And yes, we have those. So we're trying to find ways in which to support you, still keeping some of the sessions online, but giving you some face-to-face opportunities where you can come in and do the problem solving and get immediate feedback right there and then, and redirection and correction and all the things that matter in your learning. So we tried it last semester in the summer, where we said, come, even if the course is online, try to come on campus for one session in the 10 weeks. And we had some turnout, some good turnout in some courses at some campuses, and then we didn't have so good turnout in other courses. Now, one of the things, social interaction and getting to know your peers and meeting them and making connections is one aspect of social, of educational engagement. But apart from that, we had a math class that had 27 students turn up. And those 27 students turned up in Dr. Ndaja's class and said to him, so why are we online? We need to do this class in person. And he had to now switch the class to an in-person class to accommodate those students, because they realized the benefit of being in person, being able to do the problem solving, and being able to understand the concepts that were being taught, because they were fully engaged, right? So that is why we opened options for you. Okay, you can't come all the time, and we understand the travel and the parking and everything else. You can't come all the time, but if we could schedule a couple times when you can come on campus, I think you'll benefit from it, right? And you will see the value in it as you go along. So that's the hybrid. So some of the classes, especially those with the high fail rates, have some hybrid sections. And we are very strategic in putting those hybrid sections because we don't want you to fail these courses again. We want you to be engaged and fully committed to passing your courses. Online, there are other classes that we leave fully online, but even those, we wanted to at least have one session in person. Come meet your professor face to face, ask questions, get immediate feedback, and connect with your peers. The value in doing this is so important, and you'll get to learn this as you progress in your studies. And that's my word of advice to you.
Thanks, Dr. Paul. Mrs. Von Lieslein?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Are you hearing me?
Very well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Doe. Thank you, Dr. Dawkins, for this opportunity to come and provide some feedback regarding the issues that were raised by our students. Good afternoon, students who are on this platform. Okay, I've been asked to come and speak about the administrative processes and access that students may be having challenges with. And the first item that I've been asked to speak about is the tedious registration process with too many steps. Um, as it is now, students are required to complete a registration form, which is something that I'm sure that the DSS team um, shares that information with the student population. And after you have completed, after you have done your consultation with your program coordinator, you complete your registration form. I'm just taking you through the steps before we go any further. So you complete your registration form, you upload the completed form to the Google Drive as instructed. And when those forms are received, it is approved by the coordinator or the HOD or the dean. And when that approval is done, then you, the student, will pay your fees. And after you have paid your fees, the Student Financial Services Department completes your registration. And after your registration is completed on Orion, then the online team provides you with the MOODA access. This is a necessary step because, as Mrs. Davidson just explained, you need to be guided by the information that is shared with you on your curriculum maps. So you have to ensure that you complete the registration form. It might seem a little bit tedious, but if you follow the instructions that are given through DSS and through your faculty, you should not have any challenges. I know that at times when it gets to the point of fee payment and the registration with after you have paid your fees and for you to be registered, that is where some of the challenges might come about. But once you let us know that you are awaiting your registration, we are very responsive, and we usually we usually assist by engaging the SFS team on your behalf to ensure that your registration is completed and access to Moodle is given thereafter. The next concern that was raised was the long delays for transcripts, acceptance letters, graduation clearance, and status letters. We usually in the registry department, we get an influx of requests for transcripts and letters, especially around this time, because we know that persons are making applications for grants, for loans, for whatever assistance they can get to pay their fees. So we know that there is an influx in the department for those kinds of requests. And where those, when we receive those, we when we receive the requests, they are put in order of how they are received. A lot of times we receive requests for express service. Unfortunately, because of the influx, we cannot always accept express requests in the department. I know that it is a challenge because most persons want to capitalize on a timeline that they have been given, but we also have to be mindful that if we take these express requests in the department, we will not be able to honor our commitment to the service, the timeline that you need them to be returned to you. And if we don't, it is going to cause some level of anxiety. So what we ask persons to do is, if you know that you're going to request a document, please request it ahead of time. Don't wait until the last minute to request these documents. We are also very responsive to persons needs in the registry department. So where it is that we can accommodate finishing a process earlier than the timeline that is posted, we do try our best to accommodate those requests. There will be delays at time depending on what is happening in the department at a particular time, but we try to ensure that your requests are out as quickly as possible. As it relates to acceptance packages, what we have noticed with acceptance, with persons who make applications, the first thing I'd like to say is that usually when an application is successful, the applicant usually gets a provisional acceptance immediately after they have submitted their application. What normally follows is a provisional acceptance email that you will receive. If you don't receive that provisional acceptance, there may be a challenge with the application that you have submitted. So I want persons to be aware of that. There may be a challenge with the application that you have submitted. That is why you may not have received a provisional acceptance response. What we have noticed in the department is that applications which come in are sometimes incomplete. And when we realize that, we send that information to the recruitment team for them to get in touch with you to either complete your application or to resubmit your application. Also, if we do not get the supporting documents that should be submitted with an application form, that also delays the process of you getting your acceptance package. So those are some of the things that cause delays with the turnaround time for packages. When we realize that something is missing, we send emails to applicants to tell them that we are not seeing this document. Please submit it in order for us to complete the processing of your acceptance package. So those are some of the reasons why there are delays in documents that are requested of the registry team. The final thing, well, not the final, the next thing in this section, I see something about graduation clearance. This is not the norm where there is a challenge with getting clearance for graduation. I can speak to the last graduation, however. I am aware that persons were not seeing their applications that they did through Orion being approved, and that was because there was a glitch on our end with that. It was a very slow process because every time that we tried to go in on the system to do the approvals, there we were having a challenge. We made a report to our developers, or IT developers, and they worked through the process. But what happened is that when it was rectified, it was really almost at the cusp of graduation. So we didn't put a lot of emphasis on doing the approval on Orion. What we did was did an internal clearance so that we could ensure that persons were cleared for graduation. So there may have been some anxiety by some of the persons who made an application, but I'm sure that as time progressed and they reached out to us, we explained what was happening, so that was not much of a challenge after a particular time. So it should not happen this time around for those persons who will be graduating in 2026. You should see your clearance going through on Orion. And the final thing that I've been asked to speak about is the request for the regional campus to have more autonomy in processing documents. Official documents of the university must be processed through the registry department. So all status letters, all transcripts, if you need statements, anything like that, if you need verification of education, all of those things, it has to be processed through the registry department. There are some documents that the regional campuses can sign, like the work and travel forms or those kind of forms, but there's a limit on what they can be done at the regional campuses. So I hope that has answered some of the questions or concerns that you have, and if there are any questions, I will be here to answer them.
Thank you, Mrs. Lang. Thank you very much. And so finally, on our list, a comment about student life and engagement. And I'm going to invite Miss Kimberly Buckley, a member of the DSS team, to give us some feedback on that particular issue. Ms. Buckley?
Thank you, Dr. Dawkins. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. As Dr. Dawkins noted and made reference to in the data from the student satisfaction survey, the feedback was quite mixed across the student life and engagement aspect. So I will be addressing the request for more clubs, extracurricular activities, student voice opportunities, ease of creating clubs at UCC, and the mental health resources that are available at UCC, as these were brought up. So the UCC clubs and society terms and reference are there to allow for guidance on forming a club and the function of all the clubs and societies at the UCC. This can be found on the UCC site. In addition, you will be required to fill out a registration form for your club and society, stating all that's required on the registration form after viewing the terms and references, so that there's a key understanding of what is expected of each clubs and societies at UCC. So there are a wide range of clubs and societies, including the UCAM, the Young Entrepreneurs Club, the Chess Club, which is pending. There's the UC Sports Team, which includes sport clubs including badminton, football, netball, and a few more. We also have the Circle K International. We have the book club, the debating society, which I believe is a good opportunity for students to use their voices and express themselves and build public speaking skills. There's also the Drama and Performing Arts Club, the Health and Wellness Club, IT. So there's a good amount of clubs that are available and societies that are available. So for those who would want to join these clubs, please do. And for those who don't see clubs, they're available, but would want to create their own, based on their passions or their interests or their academic journey, we strongly encourage you to do that as students. Additionally, we have regarding engagement, we have the Mr. and Miss UCC initiative that is coming up and is scheduled for November 23rd, 2025, under the theme Royal Innovation. So this competition, it is a personal development initiative designed to foster elegance, etiquette, and to refine social conduct among the students at UCC. If this is a big interest of yours, or if you wish to widen your interest or how you engage as a student or as an individual, this is something that would be very beneficial for you. And if you believe what it takes for you to be UCC King or Queen of 2025. So I will now move on to the mental health resources. So there's been a call for mental health and time management workshops and mentorship. As the student council has referenced earlier, they mentioned the mentorship program, which is there for students who are leaders or grown into leaders who wish to be mentors, and students who might need a bit more encouragement or more guidance, who would be mentees. So that is available. Regarding mental health resources, we have the Choose Life International, which we refer students to for any student who might have or who are experiencing emotions that feel very intense for them within their academic journey. It's exam time and you feel very overwhelmed. You can contact me so that I could make a referral for you, or you could go on the UCC site, search in the search bar for counseling support services, and you'd scroll to the very bottom of the page, and the banner will say counseling support services and sign up here. So you click on that and it will lead you to a Google form that is called the Student Support Services Make an Appointment Google form. And you would be required to complete this so that we can make the referral on your behalf. There's an option for a mental health counseling service or a pastoral counseling service. So choosing what is best for you is very important, and knowing what type of help you would need in that moment is very important. In knowing what type of service you would need, we have been holding these student wellness sessions, which are we believe it's very key in personal development. We believe that it would help students to develop themselves, know a bit more about themselves as individuals, know a bit more about how to cope with any stressors that they're facing. So these sessions are there that happen once per month, and I believe all students should come out for them. And as mentioned, learning about yourself makes it very essential for you to know what your needs are. Yes. So my last point would be that there will be some other or more access to other engaging activities and services that are focused on creating a safe space for students to explore and share their feelings, and emotional and social struggles among their peers. This would not only allow students to express these thoughts and emotions, but also fostering empathy and understanding and belongingness amongst those who might have similar experiences. So, sorry, somebody's unmuted. So, yes, so we're looking forward to making these other activities that we have in store to be accessible to the student body, so that there could be a more engagement than we have had over the last semester. That's all for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Buckley. And thank you, colleagues, for helping to respond to this matter. Mr. Dow, that's it for me
Sure.
as far as updates and feedback.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dawkins. On the matter of student engagement, we have our event coordinator, Adonia Palmer, previous Mr. King. You could go ahead and share your screen and give us a 1 minute update on Royal Innovation. You want to unmute?
Good night, everyone. Hear me clearly?
Very well.
Yeah. So the Mr. Miss UCC proposed to be November 23rd, 2025 at 4 p.m. aims to bring but students who are worried about, oh, I may be afraid because, I've never done something like this before. I may be a bit shy. We do have training sessions in which persons across Jamaica will be coming and speaking to you, trying to motivate and inspire you to become a better individual. So it's really an investment in self-growth. We also will have a modeling agency coming in and be training you for that time. So you'll get that experience also. To enter the Mr. and Miss UCC, the entry fee is a small fee of $10,000, but we split it into two segments. So you pay $1,000 to do the interview, and once you pass the interview, you're guaranteed a percentage of your tuition. Let me repeat. The entry fee is $10,000, but we'll split it in two sections. You pay $1,000 to do the interview or tryouts. Once you pass the tryouts, you're guaranteed an incentive of your tuition, and then you pay the other $9,000 at a later date. I urge you to take this opportunity to try and win a scholarship, as not only is this a investment in self-growth, but it's also an opportunity to win the title of Mr. or Miss UCC. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Majesty. So we have 6 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a couple questions. We could type them in the chat and let's keep them brief, as quite a number of updates were provided. I understand that there's a debate this evening with our Prime Minister and opposition leader, so we'd want to keep this one quick. Yes, Shanive, part-time students can be a part of the pageant. You only need to sign up. So if you have a question or comment and you want to quickly raise your hand, we'll take some questions for the next 5 minutes. I'd like to thank our colleagues for coming out and our student council representatives. Congratulations again. I think the team is really excited to see the work that you will be implementing over the next academic year. And please take an opportunity to continue to share feedback on the 2024-2025 student satisfaction survey. As you can see, the executives are reviewing the responses and sharing updates and making improvements to improve your student learning outcomes. There are scholarships still available. So yes, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Ministry of Labor and Social Security SIP grant, educational grant is still open. You'll just need to visit the office to process that application, because the invitation on August 25th was to bring the MLS person on campus So if you want to apply for that grant, it would be to go to your closest MLSS office, right? You bring the supporting documentation and you'd have gotten the assistance that you require. For those of us who are on path or who were on path while in high school, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security has increased the path tertiary grant for those of us who are doing their bachelor's degrees from 100 to $150,000. And for those of us who are doing associate degrees, diplomas, certificates, and so on, has increased from 15,000 to $20,000 or between 20 to $40,000. I'll send out an email tomorrow so that you can see more information about that. The deadline is October 31 so that you're able to submit your applications for those path grants. And ladies and gentlemen, money's out there. Most of you are working, you are paying your taxes, the government is supporting us in different ways, whether it be through a Ministry of Education grant, which is between 100,000 to $300,000 for financial assistant grant. You have Ministry of Labor and Social Security, you have Ministry of Finance, you have your members of parliaments, and if you need any kinds of letters to support your endeavor with these scholarships, grants, and so on, please contact Student Affairs to getting the letters. It is absolutely free. The only thing that you need to do is to provide the information so that we can write those letters for you. And,
And
go ahead, Miss Wallenstein.
And I was just about to say, also, if you need transcripts and you know that you're going to be applying for these grants and scholarships, and you may need a transcript, please make your application to the registry, but please do not wait until the last minute and send in your application. Just send them in a timely manner so that they can be processed and be prepared for you as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Mrs. Wallace. And the standard turnaround time for letters is approximately 10 working days. If you're
No,
go ahead.
from the registry, you mean the letters?
Letters 5 days, transcript 10 working days. My apologies.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So if you're seeing delays with the response, it's okay to send a follow-up so that we could assist you. There are quite a number of requests coming in at a time, and things do happen. So if you need a transcript or status letter, it is to Google UCC ODR form. And once you Google UCC ODR form, you can complete the form there, pay the processing fee. It's $1,000 for our status letter, $1,500 for our transcript. And um, once you submit those two documents, the request form and the proof of payment to registry at ucc.edu.jm, I'm sure you'll get the support that you need. Dion, yes, that's a limitation of the Orion system. So we're going to use our mathematical skills, calculate our discounted amount, pay your deposit, and you can use the registration portal that was sent out today again to upload that discounted amount, and SFS will do the calculations for you, right? In the event you've paid in full already and did not apply the discount, once you've paid by the established deadline, SFS will put a credit on your account so that when you're registering for the next semester, you don't need to pay that, difference. You just take it out, pay less money next time, and you'll be absolutely fine there. For new students joining us in fall, the deadline for early registration is September 3rd. You have a 10% discount there, so you could take advantage of that. For those of you who are applying through SLB or you're a current SLB applicant, you'd have seen an email today with regards to the special considerations that we are making. So if you're at status D, you just need to pay your miscellaneous fee of $20,000. You have an approved 2025 loan, your registration will be completed. If you're at status A through C, you've paid your miscellaneous fees, or for those of you who need to do foundation courses, because SLB does not cover these costs, you can pay those deposits. And once you have done so, the SFS team will complete your registration. To date, approximately 1,100 of you would have completed that application form on the registration portal. and 800 of you have been completed to date. So the SFS team is clearing those persons who have follow-up notes. I'm sure you'd have been getting information from Student Affairs contacting you, advising you of, if you're short a payment, you haven't selected your modules and so on. So if you're not getting assistance, please reach out to Student Affairs and someone will have updates for you there. I'm not sure if there are any regional campuses online. Sashke, maybe you could state the campus in the chat, and I guess I could follow up with them tomorrow, right? So what does status D means on SLB? Let me tell you that quickly. The status is on SLB. I think D means you're approved. So once you log on to the SLB portal, you'll see the different statuses there. Let me tell you quickly. D means status D. D means final approval of application. A means application pending submission. B means time to pay your fees and submit your contract documents. And C means assessment of contract documents. So be mindful of these SLB statuses. And what you want to do is to comply with the processes that SLB would have indicated, regardless of which status you are at. UCC will register you once you have the status letter A, B, C, or D. And the only thing that you need to pay is just your miscellaneous fee, or if you have foundation courses to do. All right. So we'll check in with the Montego Bay campus tomorrow so that we can get some updates for you, Sasha K authors. With the time being 8:03, and I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat. Dr. Dawkins, Dr. Paul, I think you're the last executives online.
Okay, let me just jump in here. Only
Sure.
like to say that I'm looking forward to working with the new executive for the student council. Dean and I had a really good rapport going where he was email me questions and I will send him written responses so that he can share with the team. So I really want to establish a protocol where we can even meet with schools, students from specific schools at the one time, like a school meeting, if there are any issues during the semester that they would like to address. So having those school meetings might be one thing to introduce, and to really meet with them to find ways in which we can improve the communication, right? So we don't wait until the end of the semester, and to encourage them, to encourage students to please do the course evaluations. It is important to us to know what your course experiences are, and trust me, we value your input, we value your feedback, and we do make changes. But we can't if we only have 2 people from a class of 60.
Thank you, dear Dr. Paul. Dr. Dawkins, any final comments?
Endorsing Dr. Paul's comment about the fact that we do this well when we work together.
Yeah.
And we want to be proactive. So we're wanting to address the issues as they arise. Do not wait until it becomes a crisis. If there's a concern, raise your concern. Your student council reps will represent you well. Raise a concern so that they can bring those concerns to the ears of the faculty and the administrators. We are wanting to make sure that this experience is a positive one for you and that your university life is marked by growth and positive experiences. This is an exciting year for us, 2025, and we want you to be as excited as we are. So let us make this work and let us make sure that this is an experience that is positive. Welcome to the new Student Council. See you guys already doing good work. Congratulations to the old Student Council. Your memories video was amazing. I think we're going to put that in the archive somewhere.
There you go.
Mr.
Yes.
It was such an amazing recall. So we thank you for your good work and we welcome the new Student Council. We look forward to working with you. Happy fall, everybody.
And big up UCC.
Big up UCC. All right. Oh, Professor Giles, you want to say
Oh,
something?
yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah. You could, yeah.
Yes, just wishing everyone well. And of course, also putting in my little bit in recognition of the excellent work that the Students' Council did and capturing it in that wonderful video, which you will certainly keep on our records as a memoir of what this particular Students' Council would have done. But I want to wish the incoming Students' Council executive all the very best, and to all the students who are gathered on the platform this evening, have a wonderful fall 2025.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's evidence for UCJ. Dr. Dawkins.
Indeed.
That video is evidence for UCJ. There you go.
There we go. There we go. Well, I thank you, President Giles, Dr. Dawkins, Dr. Paul, for joining us. Professor Paul, sorry, for joining us today. Deans, Professor Warner, everybody, staff, and most important to you, our student council executives and students, for joining today's town hall meeting and installation of our student executives. If your question was not answered, feel free to reach out to Student Affairs. I'm seeing a couple questions in the chat, but you could always escalate them to Student Affairs, and I'll bring them to the attention of the respective executives for them to give you a response in that regard. So good evening, and
Donna will respond to you on that question. That's one of my concerns.
all right. And please watch the debate this evening, and on September 3, go out and vote. Right? Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good evening.
All.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening, everyone.
Have a
Make
good
sure and
evening.
register quickly.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.